Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. Do I seem angry? You should have seen me earlier. I was pretty angry. I am happy you're here. And if you are here, say hello because I want to know you're here. This week's discussion topics, as always, include anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, and inequality in America. And unfortunately, that covers pretty much everything these days. I hope that people come today. Moppy, hello. Yay, I'm happy to have you. I hope a lot of people come today. I'm not sure if they will because it's kind of like a holiday, a very kind of interesting holiday for me at least. I want to know what you guys think. It's a little bit of a tough holiday if you love the country that you live in, and it is what it is. But the show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind, and I will read what they say. And it might be a kind of a quiet one tonight, so I hope people watching will tell me what they think. But it's also to serve as a tool for an educational tool for white folks who want to learn the truth about systemic racism. So if you are watching and you can come up with somebody who you think might benefit from this little talk, please get a hold of them. I know Facebook's been acting up today, like really strangely. I don't know what's the deal, but it's been kind of strange. So if you know anyone that would like to join us, tell them it might be a really small group tonight, and that might be, less intimidating or whatever. For people who don't know me, my name is Angry Soccer Mom, and I'm angry, but it's kind of controlled. I don't take it out on anyone, I don't think. And I host this live show every week, and I try to do a Sunday show as much as I can. And I run this YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and get your friends to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, because I've been throwing on videos left and right. Today's topics for tonight that I prepared, and I want to talk about anything you want to, because that's what this show is meant to be. So if you have other topics, go for it. And if I don't know about them, then you can help me and inform me. Oh, Miss K. Jordan, thank you for being here. And she says, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. I plan to. It's really important to me to use my white privilege to, at least I seem to have the gift of gab, so I'm going to use it to try to talk to people. And so if you're watching today, it's going to be probably a smaller crowd than usual. Please don't be shy to jump in. Say what you want to say, and if I don't get what you're saying, I'll ask. And hopefully at some point I'll be able to get actual microphone and not have it written, so that I can actually have callers, because that's my real goal. So tonight's topics that I've Gary, hello. Thanks for being here. The topics I've kind of prepped for are, you're going to laugh. I call them different things, so you won't know what they are. Terrorism at the border. Don't even get me going. The abuse of our migrant people who are seeking asylum. Trump's 4th of July parade, or Republican rally for Trump, whichever way you look at it. Migrants on the southern border. Secret Border Patrol Facebook group that they've discovered. The news has discovered. And a man shot in Pennsylvania. And quite the different story compared to the official police report. And I have 2 viewer questions today for the end. And one is, was the talk of reparations just a charade? I mean, just basically talk to make everyone all, yay, we're talking about reparations, and complete BS, like nobody was. I mean, and I'm just wondering what you think. And I'll ask you at the very end. And the second thing is, what can we do about, this is kind of a loaded question, what can we do about our nation turning into a regime? Because I think that's kind of where we're headed. And it's really sad on the eve of the 4th of July. And I try not to make the 4th of July some sort of, mystical, magical, there's so much to it. our founding fathers did a pretty ballsy thing. I just watched an HBO special on it this past weekend, and it used the real transcripts of the actual founding fathers. And oh my God, I never realized how friggin' bold these guys were. I mean, I just never, I never knew. But I also know that they weren't perfect people, and they had flawed morals and flawed values, personally, for a lot of them. But they were geniuses. And I don't have a lot to, I won't tell anybody that's forgivable, what they did. But they also gave us something. Milky Bar Kid, hello, thank you for being here. So just Lakeisha, yay! Oh, you do. Thank you, Milky Bar Kid. I'm a huge supporter and I guess cheerleader for LGBTQ rights, and it means the world to me. Very, very personal on so many levels. Thank you. So I try to keep it real. So we'll get maybe too real for some people, but so while you're thinking about topics that oh my gosh, I'm gonna just turn my phone up. You're thinking about topics, jump in anytime. I gotta turn that off because I always get a call during the live show. So maybe tonight will be a little bit of a small. Oh, Mr. FS Black, hello. Thank you for being here. While you're thinking of stuff, I have a strange rant for everybody. And you're going to think I'm a real weirdo if you don't already. But, it's kind of true. I am. So, and while I'm ranting away, I hope that you'll be able to relate to the stuff that I'm saying and jump in, ask questions, add things, and I will try to get to every single person. My rant today is about the normalization of, well, okay, here's the thing. Let me start again. I pride myself in seeing both sides of an issue, but today, every day, I'm at a loss. I'm at a total loss. Every day for a longest time, I've been at a total loss. And my rant today is about the normalization of inhumanity that we're experiencing today and have been for quite some time. We've normalized all this crap. It's disgusting. And as we all know, it's kind of how it went for, Nazi Germany. And I'm not saying that, that's my opinion as a layperson. I'm saying that as I've heard opinions left and right. Oh, hey, Bedge, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to read your stuff in just a little bit. Shan, yay. Oh my gosh, I'm psyched everyone's coming. So this might sound like an outrageous example, but sometimes using an outrageous example is a great way to spotlight something that's absolutely freaking ludicrous. So I'm going to use an outrageous example because to me, what's going on is kind of outrageous. All right, so let me get started. You might think it's funny, but it's just so me. Everyone hopes that their medical doctor, who's hopefully taken the Hippocratic Oath and has vowed to do no harm. In general, doctors are supposed to help you, get healthy. But what if the people who hired your doctors decided to hire serial killers instead, whose goal was to do you in? I told you this was strange and outrageous. This doesn't sound so great, does it? They hired people to do the exact opposite thing. Serial killers, I'm assuming, enjoy killing people. Okay? I'm not really trying to be funny here, maybe a little, but maybe only in that this is a joke. We have normalized the insane in America. And I'm going to use this example to point out the insanity of how we, as a culture, we, obviously not everybody, and, I'm just guessing you'd want your doctor to want you to live, not want to secretly kill you. Well, of course not, right? So why are we hiring ICE agents who are racist and have no problem abusing humans who are simply desperately seeking asylum? Why are we fine with our government hiring overtly, overtly racist police who seem to fear for their lives every time they see a Black person or a person of color or an African American or an Indigenous person or a brown person? Why are we fine with school districts giving state funding that use local taxes? They use the local tax base. Stevie, hello. Thank you for being here. Why are we fine with this, knowing that we redlined these people into these places so that they would be stuck in a cycle of poverty? Why are we fine with Congress people who don't actually represent us, the people who elected them, but instead get money to vote the opposite? So today's like opposite day. I just wanted to point out the kind of lunacy of it. And I don't need, it's kind of like preaching to the choir, but are we just too selfish to care for the plight of others when we personally probably won't be impacted? Or I don't know. So this is my rant for today, because this nation has never been perfect, but we have a constitution that was developed by men who had a vision of self-governing, whose ideology at the time was unheard of. And I think that's what a lot of people forget. Our founding fathers tried the impossible and succeeded. They created a nation against all odds, the first nation that was supposed to be governed by the people through a democratic republic. These geniuses I speak of were not without tragic moral flaws. And I'm in no way excusing or diminishing their crimes against humanity. Our founding fathers were brilliant, but their names will be forever shrouded in slavery, racism, sexism, and imperialism. And I guess I can't help but feel that the Constitution that they wrote is our only hope right now. Capitalism was meant to be an economic system. It was meant to have checks and balances, and we're watching our democratic republic slipping away out of ignorance and greed over money and power. And now's the time to use this genius piece of writing to give real liberty and justice to all the people in America, because it should be for everybody. Okay? I'm not excusing what the founding fathers did, but you know what? God forbid we can take what they did and try to make some good of it. Try to make some good of it, because it's supposed to be for the people, all the people, and nothing will ever make up for what happened in our past. But if we lose that, we're going to have a regime, and I promise it's going to be horrific. It's going to be bad. So the checks and balances were set up by our Constitution, and now on the eve of 4th of July, I'm watching helplessly as our nation is being destroyed by greed for money and power, and all this is being replaced by inhumanity. And most nations we've seen in the past that go from supposed democratic republics, however non-inclusive they might be, they either turn to socialism or they turn to a regime. And here's the thing. A lot of people on here are going to bag on me about the founding fathers, and we have to just disregard everything they say because they had slaves. But I need you guys to know I am not excusing that. I'm not excusing that, but they wrote the Constitution, okay? And these were very flawed men in certain moral, circumstances. I don't know how to speak to this, okay? But they did write this thing. I guess you can be brilliant and have some, some of them kind of wanted, some of them didn't have slaves, and a lot of them did. And I'm not here to talk about that, because obviously it's a horrible thing. And I knew bringing this up would be kind of a touchy thing. But the bottom line is they wrote a constitution that is supposed to be, if we could modernize it and add to it and make it, for everybody, it's still a brilliant document in a lot of people's minds. And so I'm going to start right now by answering some very angry people, sounds like. But first I'm going to start at the beginning. So I'm going to answer some questions, and I don't have the answers. I don't know how to balance the idea that our founding fathers, not all of them, but a lot of them, took part in horrific things like slavery, and it wasn't for all the people. It was elitist. But we're kind of stuck with what they gave us, and it happens to be something that's lasted a long, long time. And maybe we can somehow take it and make it for everybody. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers, but I know that we're going to go one way or the other, and it's going to be a regime or a more balanced society where everybody takes part. And I think we're going the regime way. That's all I have to say. So, and because I can't personally stop the past, I can only look to the future, and we need to make it the document that they made for everybody, and do it really soon, because I think our democratic republic's over. That's all I'm trying to say. Now I will take everybody's, let me see. And no, slavery wasn't brilliant. I think that, okay. Beige mess. I think it's important for us not to glorify the history of our country and not truly confront the reality of the narrative of exceptionalism and innocence that we have been brought up with. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I jump right in there and add anything you want to that, because I agree 100%. I don't usually, it's a strange balance. It's a strange balance. Our nation has never faced the crimes against humanity that we've done. We really haven't. And that's, I think, kind of, in my opinion, why we're where we are today. Half of white America says we're in a post-racial era. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's absurd. So I'm not here tonight to say, oh, yay, everyone celebrate the 4th of July, wahoo. But I'm here to say we're in deep shit. It might be too late for our country. I don't know how to put this right, and I'll try, but our nation needs to be for everybody. And if that means changing laws and adding things, and I just don't see in my lifetime them dismantling our Constitution. I mean, hell, right now, Trump's circumventing it. He's taking executive power, and he wants to be a freaking king, people, okay? And that's terrifying. And I am well aware of these brilliant minds that wrote our Constitution, but somehow couldn't wrap their heads around all people, okay? And I have no excuse for them. But to think that we're going to get somewhere, anywhere, unrealistically, by simply bagging on the founding fathers, which there is a place for. But right now, we need to take, this is just my own opinion, take what they've given us and make it for everybody. Because otherwise, we're going to be a regime. And that's not going to be good for anybody. Okay? And this is just my opinion, all right? And I usually don't come out here with big opinions, but not everybody is good or bad. One or the other. People are a lot of things. And I will not glorify and pretend that they were, oh my gosh, such incredibly great people. In some ways they were, but in some ways, many of them were horrid, okay? Because they upheld a system that many of them knew was really, really wrong and horrific and barbaric and sick. But right now, there's nothing we can do about that. And our nation is in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so be pissed all you want, but I don't have the answers. I don't have any power I don't have any more power than you do. Milky Bar Kid, how did you create the rainbow colors? My guess is that you bought a bag of Skittles, put them in a, okay, Milky Bar Kid. I don't. Rainbow colors? You mean my background? Okay, I have no clue what you mean, but you're very funny. Moppy says, hello, Bejmez. If I'm saying your right name wrong, you got to teach me. Do it phonetically. Write it out. Says, hello, Shan's here. Let me see. He says, it's okay. I'm saying his name right for now. Twist 13 Empress, who is we? I don't know. I do not have the answers. I don't know who we is. I know when I speak of we, I mean my fellow humans. When the founding fathers speak of we, clearly they did not mean everybody. Is that kind of what you're asking? Twist, the founding fathers were brilliant in that they came up with a plan that no one had ever come up with before. Okay? The whole idea of self-governing without royalty and being beholden to royalty. They wrote an amazing thing that was the first of its kind. You can be brilliant and be a fucking asshole. Okay, I promise you, I know a few people who are like that. Okay, you can be a cruel, barbaric, sick fuck and be brilliant. Unfortunately, it doesn't all work like A and Z. And that is a really hard thing to wrap our heads around because people really, really want the person to be just horrible and evil and stupid and idiotic. And they came up with something that no one had come up with before. And they also did it on the backs of human beings that they forced into a non-human status. So, and that is unconscionable. Okay. I mean, a lot of axe murderers and psychopaths are brilliant. They're not brilliant for what they did to their fellow humans, but they came up with something that was unheard of. And it's kind of what we have now. So that's all I'm saying. And I hope that makes sense. I am in no way forgiving them or saying it's okay, but to pretend that they didn't write our Constitution because they were cruel personally, not all of them. I mean, a few of them did not endorse this sick, barbaric stuff. So that's kind of what, I'm not really going to talk about that tonight, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Right now, our nation's going down. That's how I feel. I don't know if you guys feel that way. And we better somehow take what these guys gave us and work it and make it for everybody. There's no way to change the past. What we have done to people in the past. There's no way, other than reparations and all that stuff. There's no way to stop it, what happened, but we can take what they gave us and force it into being for everybody. Okay? And that's all I'm saying. Because right now, if we have a regime, it's going to be for nobody. It's going to be for the king. So I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Let me see. Lots of comments. Wow. Mr. F.S. Black. Milky Bar Kid. You most certainly can blame them for having slaves because they were hypocrites who didn't follow their own constitution. Right. I mean, they literally picked and chose what, I mean, it was, they picked and chose what they were going to include, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, like I said, they are going to be, let me just go back to where I kind of, our founding fathers, however brilliant people think that, you know, the whole Constitution is, their names will forever be shrouded in slavery, sick, barbaric racism, sexism, imperialism, and cruel, barbaric treatment. And that is just a fact. All I'm saying is right now, we got their Constitution and we need to use it because our nation is going down. That's all I'm saying. I think it's horrific. I do not forgive them. I do not personally think it's because they're smart, it's okay. No. I mean, like I said, there's plenty of psychopaths in prison who are brilliant, who will kill you in 5 seconds flat. Something was wrong. I don't even want to get into it. And I kind of feel bad talking about it because it's all from my white privileged standpoint. Let me see. You guys are kind of talking to one another, which is great. Bejmez says, Milky, that's not true. Yes, it was normal then, but they also knew it was wrong and were deliberately sadistic. You can absolutely blame them. And absolutely, I hold them 100% responsible for their behavior. I'm sorry, people back then, there were abolitionists. There were people who knew that it was wrong. In fact, some of our founding fathers knew it was wrong. They wrote about knowing it was wrong. Okay? So they knew it was wrong. At some level, I can't speak for them. I'm not an expert, but no, they knew it was wrong. There were people who, we didn't like evolve so much. Now we know it's wrong and we didn't then. It's not good. I am not here to answer for that. How could I answer for that? I mean, my God, it was, in my mind, it was an ongoing and still ongoing crime against humanity that is still happening today. So I'm not here to answer for that. What I'm here to talk about is tomorrow is the 4th of July. And I'm not a big 4th of July person because it's just too much to bear. I can't balance it out. I can't. I don't expect anyone else to. If I'm friggin' white and I can't do it, I certainly don't expect people whose lives have been destroyed. I mean, Hitler was brilliant. He was a psycho, but he was brilliant. So it's not exactly, please understand when I say this, all right? I'm going to stop being defensive and just kind of move on. Let me see. Okay. Please answer the question posed. Recently anti-American. Okay, wait, I'll get to that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, not really. Okay. Almost at. Sorry, I'm just having to scroll back to all people who are so. Okay. Oh, okay. I want to start with another. Okay. Wow. Okay, the problem, okay, this is what Milky Bar Kid. The problem is it's very easy to hide your true identity. These people are husbands, friends, and nice guys until they get into these roles, and then their true personality comes through, racism, etc. Are you talking about our Congress people? Or I'm not sure. Twiz. The founding fathers were brilliant in that they came up with a concept that no one else had. Okay, it doesn't mean they are good people. I mean, there's a huge difference. Like I said, if you study abnormal psychology, a lot of the most psycho people on the planet are brilliant, but that doesn't mean they're good people. It doesn't mean that they're moral. It doesn't mean that they're not brutal and sick and psycho. So that's all I was trying to say. It's because that is how the country always worked. It's how they need them to operate in order to keep white order. Yeah. But they were doing it though. I mean, they're responsible. They're still responsible for what they did. I don't care if they made the Constitution. It's just, they're still to be held completely. I mean, history will hold them liable for what they did, but they also happen to give us, I mean, it's like, think about a really sick person who's abusive and they come up with the cure to cancer or something. It's like they came up with the cure to cancer, but they're still sickos. I mean, on a small micro level, they wanted it. They wanted slavery to stay. In fact, that's a lot of the reason why that's a reason why that I read. Some people think that the breaking away from England was partially because of that, because England was starting to stop slavery. But I'm not justifying slavery. And if you think I am, then maybe you're watching the wrong show because you don't know me. But anyway, I'm just saying that we got some serious issues in this country. And we have what we have is the Constitution we have to work with. And I think no matter what I say, it's not going to matter anyway. I think we're going downhill and it's over. Learn social justice. Our founding fathers were shit, and so is the Constitution. Okay, I definitely think some of them didn't have slaves, but not a one of them demanded that we put it in. I mean, I'm not here to justify their behavior. I'm just saying they made the Constitution. It's what we've been using. I mean, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, slavery was brilliant. No, I don't think slavery was brilliant. And what people often do is, and I do it too, is if someone's like done a horrible, horrible, horrible thing, then what you say is they're just horrible, horrible, awful, and everything's awful about them. Well, they wrote a Constitution that had never been written. Now everyone's, has something and used us as a model. But at the time, it was very different. It has nothing to do with how horrific they were for the ones that were cruel and barbaric to our fellow humans. I don't know if that can be separated. It's such an emotional issue, but we have been using their Constitution that they wrote. So slavery wasn't brilliant. It was the most fucked up thing on the planet. You're so misinformed about U.S. history. I have some resources I'll send you. Sure. If you think I'm misinformed, go ahead. You're right. To us 13 Empress, everyone isn't receiving the benefits, and it's sick. And I thought before the Trump administration that we were at least headed in the right direction. I thought, but now I don't think that anymore. I think we're going backwards fast. And I think that this Constitution can somehow be amended. And I don't see people in the next 1,000 years saying we're going to just scrap it. Ideally, it would be nice to scrap it and, put something in that is actually for everybody. But I guess amending it is the next best thing, and forcing it so that you can't change someone's heart, but you sure as hell can change laws. And right now we're watching Trump circumvent our Constitution so that he can harm people in numerical minority groups. Okay? So we're not in a spot right now where we have any power. The people's power has been completely taken away, obviously. So we got to work with what we got. And what we have is at least some sort of 3-tiered system that we've got to get this man out. Of course, everybody's not receiving. They never would. The system was made and based on white supremacy. Okay. But it was also made so we could amend it. So let's freaking amend it. That's what I'm saying. All people are not benefiting. So what do you say about that? I say that that's pathetic and that we need to get them to benefit. It's the number one thing on the planet. Racism and systemic racism in America and our economy and the way it works is being destroyed with no checks and balances. The people aren't working for us. The government isn't working for us anymore. And I'll talk later about what that means. They're not working for us anymore. Most of us want real equality, us being the people. And if we don't have it, then they're not working for us. They're working for the to get rich from the lobbyists. Most people in America don't want to uphold systemic racism. I'm sure a lot do, but most don't. And if we're electing people who are supposed to represent us, then they need to be helping to stop it. And since they're not, the people aren't being represented. I'm not sure how else to put it. So I don't have any answers, but absolutely people aren't benefiting from it. Very few people are. The middle class is almost like disappearing. The founding fathers didn't create slavery, holy shit, and the fledgling nation state was not imperialist. Over and out, Michael. Okay. Learn social justice. If I had a time machine, I'd go back to destroy each founding father with my bare hands. I get that. I get that, but we don't have a time machine. And I don't know what's better for our nation. I mean, but right now, all we have is this Constitution that they made. And so we got to work with what we have. I don't, of course, anyone would, if I went back, I'd stop all the sick, screwed up, horrible stuff. I'd stop every last bit with all my might, but we don't have one. And I don't know what to do, but to work with what we have. The Constitution is shit, period. Well, I get it. I get that you feel that way. And a lot of people who study it feel that it's not. It was shit because it didn't include everybody, of course, and it lied and said it did. I mean, but the overall idea, if it was actually done realistically, it should have included everybody. I mean, it was like the weirdest thing. It's like totally saying all men are created equal, but we don't consider you men, so you're not. It's ridiculous because all men are human and equal, and it's just such a strange thing, and I can't answer to that, and I'm not here to do that. But Moppy, America is going to hell. Why the hell would I fight for a country that never gave a fuck about me or my people? I don't know, and I don't have like an answer for that, other than if you live in America right now, I mean, you don't have to. That's totally your choice. But the reason I think we need to get our democratic republic back is because we're going to be a regime. And if you've ever studied regimes, we think we have it bad now. Oh my God. A regime is a regime. I mean, look at Kim Jong-un. Look at Russia. Look at how China used to be and has changed. I mean, I don't know a ton about all this stuff, but I do know that Trump wants to be king and he's circumventing our laws to try to hurt people. And the people he's trying to hurt aren't white folks, unless they're really like impoverished and middle class. He's trying to help the wealthiest white people, and he's trying to hurt all people in historically numerical minority groups. So don't fight him. We'll just have a regime then. I don't know what to do. Our country's screwed up and we're going backwards. And it's really scary. I don't know what to do. I have no answers, but all I know is people have to resist this. This man wants to be king. And when he's king, he will do things that I don't want to think about it. The man looks up to Hitler, okay? So I don't know what to say. He looks up to Hitler. He's going to do bad things. Founding fathers wrote the Constitution, but were flawed. So why do we still follow it? They were flawed because we added amendments to it, and we should keep adding to it until to make it, because no one's going to rewrite it. It's just not going to happen. And so I'm just saying our best bet, I guess, is to just keep trying to make it go towards what it's supposed to be, really, for all people, not just white people, but for all human beings. And right now, if Trump takes over and has his way and doesn't leave, if he's or is reelected, I think our democratic republic and where we were headed towards is over. and we will see what being under a real dictatorship is. And no, Black, brown, indigenous, African Americans, they don't have equality. Not true equality. Not even close. You do the numbers, any numbers of any institution in our nation, not even close. If Trump and the people who are the oligarchy of white, wealthy people who are in charge allow him to retain power, like I know he wants to, it's going to be a living nightmare. I mean, just my take. I don't know. It's not going to be better. I mean, that's for sure. So I just want to get back on track. It needs to be ripped up completely and rewritten. And learning social justice, I agree with you 100%. But that's not going to happen. So I'm just trying to be kind of a realist. I just think it would be nice if we didn't turn into a regime. That's all. Of course, it should be rewritten to include everybody. But Milky Barcat. I'm from England, so this doesn't really affect me. We don't have a police problem here. Our citizens don't walk around with machine guns. Yeah, that's true. What is 13 Empress? I don't get it. Maybe you could enlighten me at Mr. FS Black. I'm not sure if that's for me or if that's for him. I don't have answers, you guys. Bejmez. Funny enough, it's very on point that all of these things are happening around this holiday because the Revolutionary War was meant and only meant to maintain slavery. That's what independence is. It's only meant to maintain slavery. Yeah, a lot of people think that. I've read there's a book on it of a guy, and it's actually a recently written book that they truly believe it. It's a theory. I don't know the truth, but I read that too, that the reason we had the Revolutionary War was truly because the people in the colonies were benefiting so much from this cruel institution of slavery, enslaving human beings and pretending they weren't human, that this is what the book's premise is, that they thought, like hell, we're going to stop doing that. And they saw England kind of edging towards outlawing it, and they didn't want it outlawed. So, and I read that too. I don't know what the truth is. I'm not here to tell. I'm not like a truth teller, but definitely it's a possibility. The Constitution is shit. Liberalism is shit. No, it's not brilliant. It's, let me see. Hegemonic propaganda to protect the capitalists. Yeah, and I get that. And I get that. I know you think that, learning social justice. I absolutely get that you think that. And you have every right to think that. I don't know if the Constitution in and of itself is shit, like you're saying, but if that's what you think, that's what you think. I definitely think slavery was and is, I think it's a crime against humanity. There's not anything worse than that in my mind. So, but I am separating it out of necessity because our nation isn't going to make it. And that's how I really do feel. And if we think it's really bad now, and it is really bad now. Did you study what happened in Germany? Because that's where we're headed. And so that's just my take. You can say I'm virtue signaling for the 4th of July. Well, you can say that if you want, but I know my own heart, and I like to keep it real. These are desperate times we're in. Learn social justice, and we can just say, yeah, this country sucks, and we're not going to fight for anything, and we're just going to let it go. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. And I don't blame them one stinking bit. This country's been really just a bunch of lies to a lot of people. A bunch of bullshit. I don't celebrate the 4th. But I also have kids. And I don't know if you have kids, but I love my kids and I love your kids. And throwing everything away right now, not that we have any control of it anyway, is throwing our kids away and their future. I realize it's got to be incredibly hard to be patriotic over a country if you're a Black person that's just made promises and just lied and lied and lied and done horrific things to stop you from achieving. I absolutely get that. But that's where we're at right now. And no one's ripping up the Constitution right now. But they sure as hell are trying to work around it so that they can be king. And my guess is that's going to be way, 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 way worse than anything anyone's ever seen. So it's just my take. So I didn't mean to insult anybody. Mr. F. just because they were flawed doesn't mean the Constitution isn't a good idea. Okay, right. I can separate it. Like I said, there have been people who've done horrific, on a microcosmic level, people who've invented cures to diseases and are smart and are brilliant and they've done horrific things. They're not good people, but they have given to society. I mean, it's always a very controversial issue. And I am an idealist beyond human understanding. But I'm also a pragmatist too. And we're going to be screwed if we don't resist this guy. You know? So it's like fighting something that's bad so that we don't get something that's even worse. So I don't know. I don't have answers. It's a strange conversation. I wish that people weren't on writing. I wish they were calling in so I could actually hear what you really have to say. So Mr. F.S. Black, just because they were flawed personally, I think this is what you're saying. Personally, like obviously, not all of them, but most of them, doesn't mean that the Constitution isn't a good idea. Modernize and add to it. But you had 400 years to do that. Yet you want Black folks and your own folks to understand LGBTQ is less than 20 to 30 years. And you told us LGBT was a disease of the mind. I told you. Okay. Twiz 13. Are you talking about me personally or white folks? I'm not sure what you mean. Me personally, I don't think LGBTQ is a disease. I think it's a normal occurrence and has been for like throughout history. Personally, if that's what you're, I'm not sure if being personal. Yes, we had 400 years to do it. And I thought we were slowly working, being a little more, becoming a little bit, not rapidly, not like we should be. This should be a non-issue right now. I should swap skins with somebody who is dark and not think twice about it because we're all equal. People who are Black and African-American should have same life expectancies and the same ability to accumulate. I'm not sure how this conversation turned into angry soccer mom is pro systemic racism. I'm not pro systemic racism. And I think you guys know that, but I'm also not pro regime. And that's what we're looking at right now. And if you think systemic racism is horrible now, oh my God. I mean, we're normalizing shit like you wouldn't believe. So we gotta, I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I know one answer isn't to just allow Trump to take over as king. That's all. I hope that answers your question. Let me try to help more. 13 numbers. Modernize and add to it, but you had 400 years to do that. Yet you want Black folks and your own folks to understand. Okay, I'm kind of confused with what you're asking. So can you maybe ask again late? I know it's, okay, I wish this was it because I'm not 100% sure. Right. White folks don't have the right to tell Black people how to solve this. We don't. How to solve racism and systemic racism, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm personally trying to think like we're in trouble, and white folks aren't stepping up to the plate in enough numbers, because right now there are a lot more white people who are doing nothing, and they're not helping. They think that just, oh, I'm nice to everybody, but this is a system, and Trump's we're trying to talk about two different things here. So, and I might not be explaining it. It's an emotional issue. There's nothing, okay, so learning social justice. There's nothing about America to be patriotic about. Absolutely. Absolutely. I get that. I absolutely get that. And I don't celebrate the 4th of July. I never have. But right now, I kind of keep repeating myself here. Our nation is going to get worse than it is now. And we're in a really bad spot now. I've never seen overt racism like this. I know we've always had it, but now it's like they're not even trying to hide it. So it's really scary. Okay. Let's see. There is, okay. Twist 13 Empress. So how does that work? I think you're asking, how do we try to keep working towards making better laws and educating? I personally think the goal to helping the white people to become more human acting and realize that we're all the same race is to educate them. So that's why I run like all these educational groups and I do seminars and stuff like that. It's because I think education is like the only way, kind of, because we have to break white folks out of this cycle of hate and cruelty. And they need to be on the right side of history and realize that what they're doing is a crime against humanity by upholding racism. I don't know if that's answering the question or not. Social. I'm resolutely anti-American because America is the capitalist class. It's who we work for and die for in their wars. No, I agree with you 100%. Learning social justice. I absolutely agree with that. Our wars are to make people rich. Our wars are for white wealthy people to get richer, and for people who are in historical, like numerical minorities, to have their children die for nothing, to get people rich who are white. So, I mean, yeah, I totally agree with that. Let me just try to get through these. Please answer the question posed. Ask me it again, and I will try my best. Okay. Milky Bar Kid. You can't blame the founding fathers for having slaves in that time. Everyone had slaves. Doesn't make it right, but it was normal in those days, like having a car is today. Well, you know what? I actually, with all due respect, I'm not buying that personally. I'm not buying that. I know exactly what you're trying to say, and I get what you're saying. It's just as immoral then as it is now. People did it, and they didn't care, and they did nothing. And I can't help. That's how I personally feel. As a white person, that's how I feel. There's no way in hell a human being can do. I'm just saying. I disagree with you 100%, but I'm very glad you said that, Milky Bar Kid, because people believe that. Oh, that's just what they did then. No, I'm not buying it. And I can't. I don't believe it. Anyway, but I know what you're saying. The twist says, well, it's not, and how so? I'm not sure if you're talking to him or who. Mr. Evans, like, Milky Bar Kid, you most certainly can blame them for having slaves because they were hypocrites who didn't follow their own constitution that they wrote. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that too. I personally think, I mean, if I had to guess, that they absolutely knew exactly what they're doing and that it benefited them because some people didn't do it. And there were abolitionists and they had to stay quiet so they didn't get killed. But there were, I looked it up, there are abolitionists way back then. People weren't so unevolved that they didn't know what harming their fellow human was. I'm just not buying it personally. But I mean, but I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah, it was what everyone was doing. Well, you know what? It was still inhumane, barbaric, and a crime against humanity. I don't know. That's all I can say. Let me see. Let me see. This is getting interesting tonight, people. Did not think it was going to go here. Oh, it was 13 emperors. How do we take what's for everyone and give it to the all? I don't know the answers. If I did personally, I think it's through education, like I said. And the wealthiest elite who run our nation do not want education. They do not want anti-racism education. That's the last thing they want, because they benefit from the system. They benefit from the sick, barbaric, systemic racism. Okay? So, and you know that. And education and teaching the next generations the truth about our history, the truth about redlining, the truth about sundown towns, the truth about the Devil's Punch Bowl, the truth about black coats, the truth of our real barbaric, the truth about barbaric breaking farms, the truth about rapes, and the truth about brandings and murders and lynchings and all these sick things. The truth. Because once people know the truth, then they cannot deny, and in any real historical argument, you know, they're ahistorical in everything they say, because if they know the truth, then what are they going to say? I'm just an asshole, and you know, pretty much there's no, the propaganda that we feed in America is so strong and so against Black people and Indigenous people and brown people, that these people think there's another side to it. And once we educate them and stop the cycle of racist hate, that's just my own take. I don't know, but there's a force against us that doesn't want to do that. They're benefiting from it. You know, they're benefiting. They're making money off of people's pain. And they love that the ignorant white masses are racist. They love it because it puts all the blame on the wrong people. So I mean, I've done tons of talks on that, I'm sure. Yes, I don't know, but we need the numbers to do this, to make it for everybody, because, you know, and we're going backwards right now with Trump and his mafia. America's just a big bully. Yep. I believe in a lot of ways we are, and a lot of people don't believe that. But a lot of people don't believe that, but we're very greedy, and it seems to be a lot about money. Oh, okay. Answer the last. Why you're so happy to talk about Black issues, but we get told you can't address LGBTQ. No, I can address LGBTQ. Absolutely. I can address that. Absolutely. What do you like? Ask me anything. I write articles on that. I do. Absolutely. I'm just talking about, you know, racism right now, but bigotry and homophobia. Oh my God. It's huge, especially against Black people who are born into the LGBTQ community, and they weren't born straight and all that. They are getting, the last show was on, second to last show was on girls and women of color being, like, basically they're missing, and it's an epidemic, and nobody's covering it. And what's worse is, out of that group of people, even more people are being lost and murdered and not found, who are Black kids and adults from the LGBTQ community. It's even worse. So, I mean, they're doubly as you know, traumatized by this, and our society's not addressing it. But absolutely, I'll talk about LGBTQ thing, anything you want. In fact, I have I've been begging some of my friends to come on and do a special. If you know anybody who wants to come on and do, because I'm not, you know, saying like if you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. But there are people who talk about this stuff, and I need their expertise on the show. I'm not an expert, but I definitely study, you know, what we're doing to people who were born into the LGBTQ community. It's horrific. It's doubly for if you're a person of color and or a Black person or African. Yeah. So yeah, we can talk about that anytime you want. Okay. Answer the last. Okay. I want to hear your response. Okay. I'm not like 100% sure what I'm not telling you, but work with me here. Help me. What do you want to know? Kind of ask me what you want to know, and I'm very happy to tell you, you know, what I think personally, if that's what you're asking. Milky Bar Kid says, stop shouting and she'll answer you. I'm not sure what she's asking. So I'm okay with the caps if you're upset. I don't mind at all. It's not, that's, you have every right to be pissed at whatever you want to be pissed at. I'm not sure what you're asking is all, to be honest. So if I don't solve it by the end, please write to me, call me. I'll give you my number. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you're getting at. This stuff's real. I'm not here to put on a show. I'm here to understand and learn. I want to learn from you of what you're saying. I don't quite get it. Like, yes, we can talk about, you know what, anything on here you want. Oh, Mr. F.S. Black, the Constitution is a good idea, and the concept that all men are created equal is a beautiful one. Problem is, the people in power who are supposed to be upholding the Constitution just contradict it. Absolutely. And that's just like, damn. And that's what we have to stop. And that's, I don't know any other way but through education, since I don't have any power. I'm not in the wealthy elite. Obviously, I mean, got this at the Goodwill, okay? You know, I'm not in the wealthy elite. And if I was, I sure as hell would be able to make a difference probably. But all I can do right now is try to use my white privilege to get people to talk and for white folks to see that, yes, I'm a white person and I'm talking about this. And it's really, really stressful, and I'm surviving it because it's what we need to do, because it's way past time for white Americans to start giving a shit about our fellow humans and taking some racial responsibility. If everyone did that, that would make a difference. So that's just my take. Let me see here. The message. Okay. Let me. Oh no, it scrolled up again. I'm in trouble. Okay. Dang, I better hurry through these. Okay. Wow. Okay. Got a gazillion questions here. I'm so sorry for a lot of them aren't showing, so I have to pop them back up. Okay. I'm getting there, people. I'm getting there. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I think I've really pissed people off tonight. I didn't mean to. Wow. I'm getting there. I'm still scrolling. Wow. Oh, it's good we're having conversation. Sorry for the hold up, guys. Okay, I'm going to race through these because I want to get to everybody. Goodness gracious. Okay. Dang. Wow. Okay. I think I am almost there. I might just have to skip a few of these just to, okay. All right. Finally found back where I am. I'm so sorry. I just, okay. Twist 13. Serial killers in the white blood. So I want to hear, how are you really helping blacks? How I'm not helping blacks. I'm helping white people to understand so they won't be so racist. Anything I do is not, everything I do is trying to get white folks to get educated. That's all I do. I don't have the answers. I don't have as a white person, it's not my place to save black people. Black people are saving themselves. They don't need my input. We've had 400 years plus to try to save, and we have not done it. We have done a horrific job of basically destroying, not helping. I'm here with everything I do, 100%. I am here to educate white people. I can't educate black people. I don't know better than they know. They're living it. I'm not living it. How the hell would I know? I mean, I can come up with ideas, but it doesn't, my ideas are they don't matter. They're a moot point. They don't matter. What I think doesn't matter. As a white person, it's not my place to tell anyone what to do, except for white people. I do that because those are the people who are basically upholding systemic racism. And so I do speak to them and I try to educate them, but I don't tell black people, I have no cures. Black folks can save themselves, but God forbid ignorant white people don't help. I mean, I think that they should take we all should take some racial responsibility. We didn't do it personally, but you don't just sit there and watch your fellow human be abused and go, well, I didn't do it. I mean, no, you see it and you say, no, I'm not going to sit and watch. I mean, it's like anything else. You teach your kids to watch someone get abused in a playground and just be like, I didn't do it. Well, the hell, I don't. I teach my kids to get in there and be a good person and do the right thing. So yeah, I definitely, I don't tell black people what to do. That's not my place. Okay, okay. When Jefferson wrote those words, a slave was serving him coffee. Yeah, it's disgusting. That is a disgusting thing. Yes, I'm waiting for you to address me. I'm sorry I'm frustrating you, to a 13 Empress. I am not trying to. I feel awful tonight because I really do, because I don't know what I'm missing here. Mr. F. Black, anyone who does know, throw it out there. I can take it. I'll read it, Mr. F. Black, and they will find different loopholes to justify contradicting the Constitution with laws that they made, technicalities and all sorts of BS that matters more to them than human life. Yeah, it's our nation has gone unchecked. It's gone, I mean, they're finding Trump is trying to work around the Constitution. He's trying to gain, just in all the ways that we've talked about. He's definitely, absolutely. Okay, twist 13. Yes, brilliant. Why you keep talking about brilliant when you refer to them? Not them personally. They were intelligent in coming up with something. totally separate from the cruel. I mean, remember, not everybody is one way, and it's hard to even think like that. Like I said, even mass murderers can be very brilliant. It has to do with their IQ and their ability to learn and think. It doesn't have to do with their heart and their soul and they can be evil. I mean, Hitler was brilliant. I mean, a lot of people think he was brilliant. It's brilliance, not, it's more like IQ is what I'm referring to, and kind of thinking and whatnot. Personally, the people are unconscionable. They're, it's not the same thing. And I know that's hard to kind of like wrap your head around. Sounds about white. No, we are not talking to each other. I am addressing you. Okay. All right. Moppy. They gave you stolen wealth, free land, gold, diamonds, oil. Hell, they even stole a damn country for you. And the term white people was made up to hide your true identity. Yeah, Moppy, it was made up to be cruel. It was made up. White people made it up so they could be rotten to people who weren't them, I guess. Yeah. I've read a little bit about that. Definitely made up to be evil, pretty much. Twiz Empress, what are you here for? To discuss racism and inequality and bigotry in America, and do it in an open setting. That's what I'm here to do. I'm trying to address comments. I really am. Okay. Okay. Anastasia, hi, welcome. Okay, I'm reading all these comments. Joey, was Ben Franklin a good person? I have absolutely no idea. I don't know enough about him. What do you guys think? What's his story? Okay. Mr. S. Black. She's speaking as an outsider looking, knowing she doesn't fully understand Black plight. So even Kim will tell you she can't speak for us. Yeah, I can't speak. Oh my God, I don't speak for, that's ridiculous. That's arrogant. If I would never speak for a Black person, that would be like, who the hell am I? I'm just here to teach the white folks. What I do is I take these videos and I send them to every white person I know, try to get them to like get this. And the reason I read what you have to say is because you're the people who this does it to. I don't have any say in that. I mean, I don't have any wisdom. How would I know? I mean, I can read all I want, but I'm not living it. So what I have to say really doesn't matter. I just do this show to try to use my privilege to, that's why I say I wish we were on the telephone, because then you could have your voice heard and not me repeating what you're saying, because it just really doesn't come over as well. I would want you here to say what you want to say. I am an outsider and I always will be. And for white folks, it's a lifelong journey. I'll never get this. Never. But I accept that. I will never get this. But I will keep trying till the day I die and hopefully get like closer to understanding. And I learn something every day. But it's not my place to tell Black people anything other than, ask. It's like more to listen. And that's what I've been doing for years and years, trying to listen. But I do have stuff to say about other areas of life, but definitely not about how to solve racism, systemic racism. I mean, that's not my place. Let's see. Thank you for trying to explain, Mr. FS Black. Maybe you can help explain better where I'm at. I feel awful that I've upset Twist 13 Empress. I really, really do, because that's not my intention, is to cause more stress in people's lives. It really isn't. Let me see. Oh, Paulette. I'm going to pronounce everything wrong. Like, Paulette, I always do this. Paulette Larius. In 1950, the United States government stole Haitian gold reserve. Imagine if they give it back to the Haitian people. Yeah, I know. And there's a huge thing about people who stole things and giving it back and all that. I know that. And that's got to be some ugly talk. Mr. F.S. Black, just like I, as a straight man, would sound like a fool addressing gay matters. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same thing. Like, people who aren't living it, like, we can have opinions, but it's really not our place. Good analogy. Yeah. I mean, I am a straight white woman. Who the hell am I to tell people in the LGBT community what to feel and how to solve their problems? I'm here to support what they want. And the problem is, it's not a monolith. So it's like one person might want this, in general. This is a very tough thing. Good example. Okay. Milky Bar Kid, please press the button on your keyboard. Okay. Don't worry about, I'm sorry that's probably bothering you. It's fine. She's upset. She's very upset, and understandably so. This is very, very horrible subject. So don't, it's okay. If you're not sure how you can present as sure as, okay. If you're not sure, how can you present as sure to the Black race? I just learn from everybody, and I don't present to the Black race. I present to whoever wants to listen, I guess you could say. I have a lot of people who follow me who are not white, for various reasons. And it's always different reasons. No one's the same. I don't speak for all white people. I don't get white people who are really, really super, super overtly racist. I do get the white folks who have kind of like subconscious stuff. I get that, because the society's just all over us to like, white is right. It's like you're bombarded with, like, you are we live in white supremacy. But the overt stuff, oh my God, I absolutely no clue. Other than people are like rotten or something. But Les, thanks. Good job, sweetheart. Thank you. I'll take that. I'm doing the best I can. Trying to, I don't have the answers because I'm not in power, really. I am white and I have tons of privilege, but I'm not a white elite. And those are kind of the people who have the most power, the white elites who run our nation. So, okay. Thank you, Les. I appreciate it if you're still here. Milky Bar Kid, this video is brilliant. Okay, well, we're definitely talking about some very hard topics on the day before a very difficult day. For a lot of people. Thank you. Thank you, I guess. Mr. F. Black, I hear you, but I'm not falling for the okie dokie. I want to hear how we benefit, like Kim does. How we benefit. Are you talking about how Black people benefit from the Constitution? Well, I don't think that Black people benefit from the, it's kind of hard to explain. They don't benefit equally, obviously. But if we don't have this Constitution and we have a regime, it's going to be way worse. Tell me what you guys think. Maybe it'll be better. I don't think so. But if that's what you think, I'm not sure what you mean, to a certain Empress. I think that if you live in America, it's better to have this Constitution than a regime. That's kind of all I get. I'm really, really having a rough time. People who are viewing, help me out. teach me. What is she getting at? What am I missing? I want to know if you know, because I don't know. Anastasia, Milk England was the biggest colonizer, and you have, yeah, absolutely. Anastasia, yeah, the racism's very, very, I know there's tons of racism there. I have a bunch of Black friends that are from the UK, and it's like a little bit different, but it's pretty rampant there too. That's from what they say. It's not like American racism, but this I've heard stories. I have heard stories from my friends. So, I mean, the whole world has this problem. So, but we seem to be the leaders in it, I guess you could say. We're kind of the leaders in it. Okay. This has definitely been interesting tonight. Okay. Wow. I better hurry. Lots of people. Okay. Dang. Every time I scroll up, sorry about that. Okay. Did it again, and now it's scrolling back. I'm sorry, guys. Still scrolling. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Finally get back to where I was. Oh, okay. How did you think that Twist 13 Emperors, how did you think that Kim? How do you think we're going forward? What was your evidence? I don't think we're going forward, what you just said. I think that we are either stalled or at least headed in the right direction. My evidence is the research that shows that the numbers are slowly getting closer to what they should be, which is completely equivalent to all groups of people. It's not fast. It should have been done a gazillion years ago. But with things like the laws, they finally passed 1964 Civil Rights Act, that kind of thing. Before that, there was just even worse things happening. So, and when Black codes were allowed, there was even worse things happening. So it is slowly going in the right direction based on history. It's nowhere near where it should be. But I never realized like we would go, I thought Trump would take us back, but I didn't realize like it would be like 100 years back. So I hope that answers it. Okay. That's what gave me the impression, is basically that the numbers are getting closer to equal. They're not equal, but they're getting in that direction. I mean, before it was like, before 64, my God, it was just another form of, inequality and worse than it is now. So I hope that kind of helps answer it. I am going to look at our kid. No, I like Trump. He's a good president. Okay, well, the bottom line is this, Milky Bar Kid. I need to let you know. Milky Bar Kid, Trump's a racist, bigoted, misogynistic, like, asshole. He's a horrible, horrible human being. He's done cruel, horrible things. He upholds systemic racism. Right now, he's, in my mind, doing crimes against humanity by being a terrorist to his own nation. So I'm happy you like him, but it's kind of not such a great thing. You like a person who's a cruel, horrible man. I mean, I don't know. if most didn't, okay, if most didn't, racism would be a scare for you to talk about, just like LGBTQ. I'm not sure why you think I'm scared to talk about lesbians, gays, bisexual, transgender people and queer people. I'm not afraid to talk about it. It's just not one of the topics today, but I can talk about it. Ask me, what do you want to know about that? You're happy to talk about racism, but not LGBTQ. I'm kind of confused. I will ask me a question about LGBTQ and I will answer. Moppy, you don't have to benefit from wealth. You can benefit from being white and not being harmed by the cops. And right, there are other ways people benefit from the system they created. Absolutely. Right. I'm just saying I can't influence, like I have no real influence as an individual. If I was really wealthy, then maybe I would. I'd have like I could throw my money at people. But absolutely, I have white privilege like you wouldn't believe. I've benefited from every single horrible thing that's happened to slaves who built our nation. Absolutely. 100%. Hi, Pat. I'm so confused tonight. Mr. Rustock, Kim has had videos on gay discrimination. So yeah, I have had many of them. It's not something that I ignore. I have had one of my most evil ones that I actually dropped a lot of F-bombs. Yeah, the LGBT community is a very, very personal thing. Very, very personal without getting too personal. It's a very personal thing. It's something that is very close to my heart. You have no idea. But yeah, so no, I'm not afraid to talk about it. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to have to skip a couple things I totally do not get. Leslie, the only thing you can do is vote him out, and that's it. Yeah, Les, definitely. Voting him out is key. We have to vote him out. You know? Milky Bar Kid. Twist. This video isn't about LGBTQ. What the F are you talking about? Did you take a no? No. Okay. Oh, that's what you want. Oh, you want to talk about gay discrimination. Yes. Yes. We have a really, really bad problem with that here. In fact, it's really, really bad. And I have a couple of videos on it where I try to educate the straight people. Once again, I don't educate the people in the LGBTQ community. That's not my place. It'd be ridiculous. But yeah, no, it's another horrific problem, especially if you're in the LGBTQ, you're born into the LGBTQ community and you're also not white. So it's bad. There's a lot to it. Let me see. Pat, hello, Kim. I see you have some new guests, huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay, once again, the LGBTQ thing I'm pretty okay with talking about. Ask me anything you want. Okay. Yeah, okay. Milky Bar Kid. Tell you what, you're asking someone who's talking about history why they aren't talking about gays. How is that relevant? Do you go to KFC and complain how they don't have Big Macs? Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on. Lakeisha, Kim, they protested in front of Mitch the Bitch McConnell home today and in DC for demanding reparations. I missed that. Oh my God. Lakeisha, if you're still here, if you have anything on that, I would love to see that because I was so disappointed by his ignorance. Just like, wow, he's been in Congress that long and he doesn't even, he's got to be full of crap. He was there 10 years ago when people asked for, see, so I don't get it. Ban me and we know what, I'm not banning you. Joey, it's funny how the South called Civil War the War of Northern Aggression. Tell me more about that. What do you mean? Milky Bar Kid, empty account, no video. Okay. Mr. FS, boy, I'm really not getting too far in the actual stuff today because people are pissed. Pat, just 13 years. What is the deal with you on LGBTQ? Why do you want to put it in the midst of what we're talking about? Yeah, I'm not sure why either. I tried to hang out and I got no plugin when I downloaded. Okay, I'm gonna skip it. Okay. Hi, Pat. Any input you'd have to give would be very appreciated at this time. Okay, I'm going to skip kind of like the infighting I'm seeing here. I am very interested in LGBTQ issues, and I'd be happy to have a whole show on it if you want to. I've had a lot of, actually, I've covered a lot of that, actually. If you think about it, on my last, let me see. You got to watch some of the, if you want to see stuff, I've been covering that, what he's doing to people who are transgender in the military, covering that stuff like crazy. Because he's been a real sicko with that. Okay, I'm kind of skipping a few things because it's a little bit of in talking and whatnot. Okay. Astarte Jones. Okay, America would fall if not for slavery, aka the prison system. Do you mean? Tell me more. Tell me more about what you mean. Do you mean because, right, well, America wouldn't have free labor of humans pretending they weren't humans made our country wealthy. We got free labor. So, yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere. I don't know where we'd be, but we certainly wouldn't be wealthy like we are now. We certainly wouldn't have our economy. I mean, being barbaric and cruel to enforcing people into enslaved status got us wealthy. So yeah, I think if that's kind of what you mean, tell me if I don't want to misrepresent you. Hilarious. With all the killings of Black people by police and white citizens, people are silent. That is what is extremely upsetting to me, is that, like, that's why I talk to white people, because they don't get that, like, they're doing nothing or just being nice to everybody is not helping. It's condoning. They're on the side of the oppressor. If you just sit there and do nothing, I mean, it's hard to explain, but there's no neutral. You're either supporting people who are in historically, numerically minority, numbers, or you're oppressing them. There's no, you can't just be not doing anything. Astarte Jones. America stole everything, including whole human beings. Yeah, I mean, America's done some things. Okay. Okay. Oh, Moppy. Jews, talking about the same people that funded Black people's slavery. Black people have suffered longer than all these groups you're naming. Once again, this isn't about LGBTQ. Yeah. We can talk about that if you want to sometime, but tonight we're kind of on a different topic. But I mean, if you want to talk about that, bring some topics up. Okay, I'm just really confused about what you're getting at tonight, Twist 13 Empress. Mr. Oslack, I have no idea why Empress wants the topic to be about everyone's struggle, but ours in America. Because like right now we're kind of talking about, what I mostly focus on is Black folks and brown folks and Indigenous people and African Americans and non-white people who are not the privileged group of in the power base. Not everyone's exactly in the same, but I'm talking about that more because that's what's really having this racism, systemic racism, is destroying our nation. It's really destroying our nation. So Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on either. Pat says to do some research. Okay. Pelagic. With the until it happens to white people, that's when people, yeah, sometimes, you know, it seems like some people, he's saying, or he or she is saying, until it happens to white people, that's when they'll wake up. Well, it'll be too late. Yeah, I mean, some people just literally will not learn until they've experienced it. And that's really sad and really bad, because that means they have no empathy or understanding. And that's a really sad space to be. Definitely a possibility. Yeah. I mean, some people are like that. They have no feelings in that regard, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Zach, I'm going to have to skip your comment because if something's bothering you about this show, no one's holding a gun to your head to stay. Okay. I don't think I've ever said it to anybody, but tonight I'm kind of getting on edge. Moppy, blacks never had slaves. The Moors pulled you white people out of caves and taught you everything you know. White people were servants to black Moors in Europe. That means you got paid afterwards. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gary, Milky Bar Kid. Trump's a train wreck, doing great, destroying us. Yeah, he's destroying our nation. Very much so. Mr. Evans Black. To Empress. Blacks who had slaves? None of these questions are making any sense to anyone but you. Okay. Okay. John Brown and his amazing white person. Okay, I'm not even sure where we're at here. I'm going to move on. Okay, Milky Bar Kid. Okay, but your country voted him in, and despite all the outrageous things he said during the election, so be mad at your own country, not him. He's just doing what he said he was going to do. Yeah, and that's a good point. It's a lot of the anger is put on at Trump, and he's just a result of our right. He's a result of our country. We voted him in, and that means that, you know, obviously the actual popular vote he didn't get, but he got in. Enough people wanted him, he got in, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and that's to further marginalize and do horrible things to people in numerical minority groups. What the white folks don't get is he's also doing horrible things to them, but they don't quite get that because we love our racism in America. So I guess we probably won't catch on to that. I don't know. It's really sad. Let me see. So yeah, we voted him in. Yeah. Moppy, you have a picture of an Egyptian. You do know the Egyptians were black. Absolutely. Of course I do. I'm not sure if that was for me, but yeah, of course. Okay, the force is money and greed. Yeah, it's actually exactly money and greed, because it's capitalism. Capitalism is supposed to be our economic system, not our like social way we live. But it's capitalism unchecked. It's gone nuts. Gary, the majority voted against him. Yeah, so people really did vote against him, but he got in through our special little system we have. Mr. F.S. Black. First of all, I am black. Right. Mr. F.S. Black is black. Secondly, you should probably take a break. Okay. So he's saying you're lashing out at everybody. And okay. Pat. every white person in America is benefiting, and this is why reparations are necessary for blacks. Exactly. It's because we all benefit. Mr. F.S. Black. Okay. Okay. Mr. F.S. Black. I've been following Kim's channel and live streams for a while and haven't seen anyone lash out at her. Yeah, this is my first time too having anybody lash out at me. I'm okay with it. It's kind of a little disruptive just because I really wanted to get to like the topics today. But it happens. This is a really tough, really tough topic we're talking about at a very tough time. And I get it. It's not good. Yeah, let me just kind of move on. I'm not here to play some white savior or whatever. Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't plan on saying. I do this, actually, it might be a good time for me to address. I do this stuff for me. So I can't freaking stand the culture of hate. I do it for me. If anything, it's selfish. I do it because I can't stand just watching and going, oh, you know, I see it, but nothing I can do. I can't take it. I have to do something. Even if I don't make a difference, I have to try something. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. But no, I do this for me. It's a selfish thing I do. Okay. Pat, I didn't vote for him. Yeah, neither did I. Moppy, I wouldn't be surprised if World War III starts. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Let me see here. I am going to, wow. I'm going back to where this thread's giving me a headache. It's all over the place. Okay, good night, Mr. F.S. Black. I'm so sorry. I was a little bit thrown for a loop tonight. A little bit thrown for a loop with some of this, but I will go on for a little bit longer if some people want to hang. Let me see. So skipped out on to talk about. I think right now we have been abusing our people at the border, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And if these people were blonde, then it's getting worse. My hope is that people will start pouncing on this, absolutely pouncing on it, and calling their Congress people. What do you guys think? We've done some really bad things. Trump made arbitrary rules that have these vulnerable people are coming from nations that we help to destabilize with our anti-communism agenda, and then we left them kind of without help. There's been 4,500 complaints filed against all these agencies in general that try to basically adopt out kids who had parents. And now we're having horrific conditions. They're calling it. And I mean, our Congress people are letting this happen. So I don't know. I really feel like we're going downhill fast with this, and it's turning into what we all fear, and that's is crimes against humanity. And we're allowing it to happen. And I don't get. The last topic I had for today was something I wanted to show you guys. And it was a man was shot by police in Pennsylvania last week. And in Linwood, Pennsylvania, prosecutors say that this is a father of two. He grabbed an officer's gun. He was accidentally shot. They say he accidentally shot himself and was then killed. But the civil rights activists and the man's family are not satisfied with this conclusion. Apparently, the man broke loose, and I want to just show you one that a woman. I want to actually grab this and what this woman had to say. So I'm going to grab the camera right now and show you. And it's only about a minute long, but it's very relevant. So please excuse me while I do this. I'm going to switch it around so that you can see. Oh, hopefully this was like, let me just see something like fast. Okay. Oops, sorry to do it to you. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. I got it. I'm going to play this for you, and I want you to tell me what you think, because this woman witnessed the same thing that the police supposedly witnessed, and she has a little bit of a different story to tell. Let's try to put this evenly on here, so let's listen. Oh, wait, not this one. To grab it, it's this one. Okay, and it's right here. Doop.
The officers, when they ran up to him, the white officer was closed fist punching on the black guy. And they finally restrained him to the ground, tased him twice with the stun gun. Now, they had him on his side, like stomach side, kind of. And they said that the gentleman tried to reach the gun. I saw the whole thing. He didn't. How could he reach for a gun if he's restrained and he can't move? He did not try to reach for the gun. And the cop, the other sheriff, shot him twice in the back. And it's just, it's wrong. Black Lives Matter. And what happened right now with these cops was just uncalled for. The man was restrained. There's no reason they should have shot and killed him.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. Right now, I'll get back. That's kind of what I wanted to show you guys. The difference between what the police said and what this eyewitness said was really, really bad. It's like a different story. So I'm going to, okay, so we're having some buffering issues. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure why. It's kind of par for the course. It's been a rough night. I'm probably gonna cut my losses tonight. I apologize for such a rough show. I mean, we're talking about tough stuff, and we're talking about it to people who really, really care, and this is really hurtful stuff. So we're not always going to have a perfect, lovely little, sweet, wonderful time. But I'm willing to take on the tough stuff. But it just needs to be kind of reasonable. The last thing I wanted to end with, and I'm not sure if people want to hear this, but I feel like a lot of folks are willing to go about their business and let our democratic republic fall to a regime. And I was listening today, and you might not like this at all, or you might. I was listening today to something that is really kind of, I don't know how to say it, like inspirational in a weird way. And not everyone will agree with me, but I wanted to play it. And that is, if I can find it, the Gettysburg Address. Because right now our country's really divided. Really, really divided. And personally, I think we're kind of screwed. And that we're going to turn into a regime because too much capitalism unchecked and people not realizing that humans come first over greed. So I wanted to play this for you. And if you are not interested, I guess you can go. But what he was talking about was keeping our country together at all cost. And right now, for good or for bad, we have a constitution that should be able to stop horrible things from happening, as long as we don't allow people to circumvent it, as long as, you know, the leadership is honest. And right now we don't have leadership in our federal government, in my opinion. We're not getting the leadership we need. The Republicans should be furious with what Trump's doing to our fellow humans in and outside our country. They should be furious. And what they're doing is they're doing nothing but supporting him. And that is criminal in my mind. Not criminal religiously, not criminal against the law, criminal morally. Because to me, none of this has ever been about politics. It's about being human. And being human comes before all else. And the Trump administration is not acting human. They're being sickos, and the people in the Republicans are allowing it to happen. They refuse to stand up and say, I'm not going to stand and do nothing while you destroy our country. So I wanted to end today with the Gettysburg Address, which could be controversial, could not be, but he's speaking to our nation, saying, and the reason I think the Gettysburg Address is a good one is because I think a lot of Americans have forgotten something, and that is that freedom is not free, okay? There were people who came before us who suffered and lost their lives. And for us to just take it all for granted and not fight for what we have, and yeah, it's imperfect. I get it. But people lost their lives trying to get here. And for us to just, makes me really sad. So I'm going to play it. And I hope it's some sort of inspiration to you. Or if nothing else, you understand what I'm talking about. Because we're at a bad spot. I hope we bounce back. But if we don't get that man out of office and try to get back to at least where we were so we can try to slowly creep forward, I think our democratic republic's in trouble. Like, I think it's over. So I'm going to play it for you. I hope you like it. A little bit of a weird show tonight. But that's what I do. I do weird. Zoop. Doop. A lot of us probably haven't.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
So that is, whoop, back we go. Simon, I wanted to have people get from that, that I got from it, was that the people who came before us sacrificed a lot. When I think of, you think of like, give me liberty or give me death, Patrick Henry, sure. But how about some other people? Nathaniel Hale, 18 years old. He was hung, and the words that he had to say were, I'm not going to quote him exactly, but I only regret that I have but one life to give for my country. These people wanted to they wanted to create a nation for us. And it's not perfect. It's not even close. But right now, we could be losing our nation for whatever it was. And I promise that anybody knows that'll be way worse than getting back to where we were and continuing to try. We're way, way past politics with this. Our country is in jeopardy of turning into a dictatorship, I feel. And I hope to hell I'm being dramatic. I really do. So I'm going to say goodnight. I want to apologize for kind of a rough show tonight. I don't think I handled it very well. And I'm human, but maybe I'll be able to learn from it. So anyway, thank you very much for being here. And hopefully I will keep learning and do better. Okay? So I appreciate your support. So I will quickly switch over to saying zoop, zoop, zoop. And a couple more things, but we're not going to get to them. I wanted to go over my questions for the viewers, and maybe you can add things if you want to. Just really quickly, my questions for the viewers was this: reparations, was it a charade? Were they serious, or were they just basically trying to pacify people by talking about it? I want to know what you think. And the other question was, what can we do to stop our nation from turning into a regime, other than vote this man out? It's kind of what I think. So please, if you haven't, after tonight, you might not want to, but if you haven't, subscribe. I promise. They're all not like this. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you believe that it's way past time for white Americans to start taking some racial responsibility. And ring the little bell thing for notifications. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you have any friends that would love to join in the conversation, please have them join, because the more people that join in and the better we do with this channel, the more videos get sent to more white people, because that's what YouTube's formula does. The better your video does, and the better you're doing your channel, they actually kind of advertise for you. So this has been quite the learning experience. I think I'm going to go cry in the corner, but I will live. You know what? I will live. A lot of people, because of systemic racism and bigotry and inequality, will not. So I can go cry in the corner, but I'm going to be fine. The reason I do this is because it's unconscionable that a pretend human construct made up for greed and just greed over humanity, actually kills people. So I will be fine, but some of my fellow humans won't be, and that's not okay. So write to me privately. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm going to be around during this, long holiday or whatever, because I'll just be hanging out. So PM me, and I will get back to you eventually. I'm completely over the top with people doing that, but please support what I'm trying to do, which is to educate people in numerical majority groups to support people who are not. Okay? So good night, and I hope I will see you next week. Thanks for sticking it out. It was an interesting show for sure. Hope I didn't scare anyone away. Good night.